You see, survival in the chicken game isn't about luck alone. Of course, luck plays its role. Every click is a dice roll you can't see. But survival lasting long enough to walk away with something real depends on balance. The balance between risk, cash out, and bankroll. And finding that balance is harder than most players admit. Because the game is designed to push you off balance, to tilt you into extremes, too cautious, and you barely win anything. Too greedy, and you lose it all. The real challenge isn't the bones on the board, it's the battle in your own head. Let's start with risk. The bones are the teeth of the game, and the more you add, the sharper they bite. 5 bones give you room to breathe. 10 bones give you tension, but still some space. 15 feels like the walls are closing in. And then you have the extremes 20, 24, pure chaos, where survival feels impossible. Each level of risk isn't just changing the odds, it's changing the psychology. The more bones you load, the more every click feels like stepping into fire. And that's the drug. That's what hooks people. The feeling that every move is life or death, that one wrong step will kill everything. It makes your palms sweat, your heartbeat race, your brain scream for release. But risk is also deceptive. New players think low bones means safety, but safety is an illusion. The odds are better, sure, but the bones are still waiting. Even at 5, even at 3, you can still hit death on the first click. And when that happens, the brain doesn't process it as bad luck. It processes it as betrayal. You thought you were safe, but you weren't. And betrayal makes you angry. Anger makes you chase. That's how bankrolls bleed dry. Not on the high-risk setups everyone warns you about, but on the low-risk games where people get cocky, double down, and lose over and over because they can't accept that even the safest setup can still break them. That's where bankroll comes in. Survival is impossible without it, because bankroll is oxygen. Without air, you suffocate. Without money, you're done. Every serious player learns this lesson the hard way. Your bankroll isn't just fuel, it's protection. It's the difference between one bad click ending your run and one bad click being just a scratch. But here's the trap. Most players don't treat bankroll as protection. They treat it as infinite. They play as if refills will always come. And when you think the oxygen tank never empties, you start wasting air. You play recklessly, you double bets, you jump into 20 bones when you should have stayed at 8. Before you know it, the tank is empty and you're clawing for breath. The truth is, bankroll management is the closest thing to real strategy this game has. You can't control where the bones are, you can't bend probability to your will. But you can control how much you risk per run, how long you let your balance stretch, and how disciplined you are when greed starts whispering in your ear. Bankroll is discipline made visible, and every player who ignores it ends up the same broke, bitter, convinced the game is rigged against them. They never realized they rigged it against themselves by refusing to respect the only thing they could control. Then there's cash out, the cruelest button in the game. Because cashing out is where victories die and regrets are born. Cash out too early, and you stare at the board thinking, I could have gone further. Cash out too late, and the bones snap their jaws around everything you built. It doesn't matter which mistake you make, it hurts either way. That's why cash out isn't just a button, it's psychological warfare. It's you versus yourself, trying to measure patience against greed in real time. Most players get it wrong because they let emotion decide. They cash out when they're scared, or they hold when they're greedy. Rarely do they stick to a plan, and without a plan, you're a leaf in the wind. You'll fly whichever way your feelings blow, and feelings are the one thing you can never trust in a game built to manipulate them. The sound of the multiplier climbing, the flashing numbers, the silence before a click, all of it is designed to make your emotions louder than your logic. And once that happens, your cash out becomes a coin flip. Survival means flipping that script. It means setting a goal before the game begins and sticking to it no matter what happens. That doesn't guarantee wins, but it guarantees control. And control is survival. Because the moment you give up control, the game owns you. And the chicken game is built to own you if you let it. Here's the irony: balance doesn't mean safety. It doesn't mean avoiding loss. Balance means managing loss. Accepting that bones will hit you. Accepting that some runs will die early. Accepting that the game is designed to take. Balance is survival because it's the only way to keep playing long enough for the wins to matter. Without it, you're just a candle burning too fast. Bright for a moment, gone the next. Think about it. Every player remembers the huge wins. The run where they went deep, the moment they defied the odds. But what keeps you in the game isn't one lucky run. It's the hundreds of small, managed plays that keep your bankroll alive. Those little wins stack, they build the oxygen tank higher, they keep the fire burning. Aggressive players chase the one big story. Survivors build a book of smaller ones. And when you zoom out, survival always beats spectacle. Because legends are rare, but survivors get to keep playing. But here's where it gets even deeper. Survival isn't just mechanics, it's identity. Every player has to decide who they are. Are you the safe player who cashes out early, who treats the game like a side hobby? Or are you the thrill seeker, the one chasing adrenaline, the one who would rather crash spectacularly than coast quietly? Neither identity is wrong, but only one leads to long-term survival. And survival is a mindset. You have to walk in expecting nothing, prepared for everything, ready to stop when discipline says stop. The second you play like you're owed a win, you've already lost. And yet, most players ignore that. They think survival is boring. They think small wins aren't worth the effort. They want fireworks, not candles. That's why they never last. Because in the chicken game, survival isn't flashy. It's slow, it's steady, it's disciplined. And discipline doesn't get applause. But discipline keeps you alive. Survival is also about knowing when to leave, not just the board, but the game itself. Every bankroll has a breaking point, every player has a limit. The trick is knowing yours and respecting it. Walk away when you're ahead, walk away when you're down. Walk away before emotion eats you alive. Because the bones don't just live on the board, they live in your head. And if you don't learn to walk away, the game will follow you even after you close the screen. You'll dream about it, chase it, regret it. And that's when you realize survival isn't just about money, it's about sanity. The chicken game is survival dressed as entertainment. The flashing lights, the simple clicks, the instant results, all of it hides the truth that you're in a war with yourself. And the only way to win that war is to balance. Balance your risk so the game doesn't eat you alive. Balance your cash outs so regret doesn't strangle you. Balance your bankroll so you never run out of oxygen. That's the guide. That's the survival plan. It won't make you rich, but it'll keep you standing. And in a game designed to make you fall, standing is the rarest victory of all. Because at the end of the day, the chicken game doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care about your plans, your dreams, your ego. It only cares about the next click, bones or chicken, win or lose, survival or destruction. The question isn't whether the game is beatable. The question is whether you are. And if you want more guides like this, more deep dives into the psychology and strategy of these games, more breakdowns that cut past the flashing lights and straight into the truth, hit that subscribe button right now. Because survival isn't just about one game. It's about the mindset you carry into all of them. Stick around, learn the balance, and I promise you'll never look at risk the same way again.